up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up.
Y'all got Kool-Aid hot.
Fired up. But with the WUW WUW Crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, though, people? It's Lions Victory Monday on Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off your day with the WUW Crew. It's your boy Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Flannel Sam, I'm sorry, Flannel Sam. I'm sorry. Today, it's Freddie Polo, man.
Do you know what I love most about today? It's that there is so much going on. There's so much to talk about that we are not going to be able to get to it all today. Today is a Lions heavy show, but the rest of the week we are going to cover Michigan and the Tigers in great detail. But the most important thing is that this is a Lions Victory Monday, and I cannot wait to break it down with the guys here. Where else would you want to be? Where else would you want to be?
Let's go, man. Oh, my goodness, what a victory. And I know we're going to talk a lot about it today. And that right there, guys, look, that's the vet of the network. It's the vet of the squad. You have had a lot of these Victory Mondays, man. We're going to break it down. What up, though? Matthew Broder, our credentialed Tigers reporter and writer for the network, and just lover of all things Lions. Good morning.
What a weekend, guys. What a weekend in sports. Lions, Tigers, Twins blow, Royals blow, Orioles blow, Michigan wins. Like, it was so much fun watching sports all weekend. It was so emotional, the ups and downs. The fact that everything played out how it did, I couldn't be more excited to have a Victory Monday show with you guys. This is our second one ever as a Wake Up Woodward. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm so amped up, man. Shout out to that dude, Justin. He was working hard yesterday at the watch party in the post-game show. Had to get back to school. Drive safe. And, you know what? Shout out KG, man. Detroit's #1 draft pick. I know he'll be here soon. In his steed right now, we got Intern Chase. Intern Chase. What'd you say, bro?
I said KG's probably getting laid.
Yeah, that Victory Monday feeling. Mm-hmm. What up, though, Intern Chase?
Hey, what up, though? How's it going, everybody?
It's Victory Monday.
Yeah, indeed.
Bro, you gotta get fired up. Let me hear, I'm fired up.
I'm fired up.
Let's go. In the TD booth on a Victory Monday, it is JB Smooth, Woodward Sports' MVP.
Hey, Victory Monday two out of three of these. I'll say that. 2 out of 3.
Why do you say that?
Because my Spartans could not get the job done against Boston College. It was very close.
That's right.
They couldn't get the job done. I'll admit that.
Man, I've just continued to put on one piece of swag after like another piece of swag because it is Victory Monday for these Detroit Lions. And Flannel Sam, I just got to get your first just initial reaction from this game because there were many narratives, probably things that we felt ourselves, things that we knew we heard from other people on the outside, as well as what the Lions have put on tape as well, dealing with mobile quarterbacks.
There is, definitely more on the mobile quarterback thing later, but just my initial, because we're going to break it down in great detail, but just my initial thoughts, just very, just looking in, just parachuting in, is that if you're a betting man, you should put your entire mortgage. And this isn't betting advice, so calm down. You should put your mortgage on the Lions to win after they lose the previous week, because this Lions regime, ever since they really become the brand new Lions, they just don't lose back-to-back games. We talked about Ben Johnson having his struggles last week. I thought he had a better week. We talked about Jared Goff having his struggles last week. In the first couple of games, he certainly had a better week, the first half especially. The Lions just don't lose back-to-back games. It's a very important game. I know there's some things to clean up. I know it wasn't a perfect game. I know the second half left some things to be desired. But on Victory Mondays, it's time to celebrate because it is really, really hard to go to the West Coast against a hot Arizona Cardinals team that needed that game too and get a victory, and the Lions got it done. There's so much to talk about, but the most important thing is it is Victory Monday. We can accentuate the positives. Winning in the NFL is hard, man. It just is.
Hey, and you know what? I want to talk about the game, but one of the things that really stuck out to me as you see this kind of Honolulu blue up here on the Lions Victory Monday stamp, it was the same kind of sea of blue down at the Cardinals game. That was crazy. Like, Detroit Lions fans are absolutely taking over stadiums this year, and I know that the players have to feel that energy. It's cool to kind of see the reciprocal relationship between the Lions and the fans after so many years of just, yo, this is a bad relationship, but I can't leave you, though. Now it's just one where everybody is on board. I don't even do you hear anybody really complaining about the price of season tickets right now?
No.
Everybody is just focused about what this Detroit Lions team is doing right now. And then furthermore, it's just Aaron Glenn, man.
Yeah.
That's just last year I was wondering about, is it him or is it the talent? This year I believe that the Detroit Lions, they did things to be able to help this defense, and I know we're going to talk about it a little bit later.
Yeah.
And so just to see Aaron Glenn handle the mobile quarterback, handle kind of the aspect of Marvin Harrison, who was popping off already. The fact that they smacked the Rams already. And that had a lot of Lions fans nervous, including myself. They went in there and the defense stood on business, man. 13 points.
Yeah.
We remarked how it was 10 points most of that game, bro.
That is why on today's show there is going to be a lot of talk on this Lions defense because they deserve it. They've earned it. Broder, just your initial thoughts on the Lions winning this weekend.
I thought the defense is what kept you in the game. Like, all the questions I had answered about the offense, although it wasn't perfect and there are still things to clean up, all the issues of the last couple games were answered to me. I saw stretches where the offense looked back in a rhythm. I saw stretches where Goff was finding St. Brown and Laporta on the first drive. They're pounding the rock with Montgomery, find a nice little quick slant to Laporta, a pass to Brock Wright. All those questions are answers, and while they didn't play perfect football, their defense kept them. Their defense won them that game.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Absolutely they did. And Chase, before you give way to KG, who I believe just entered the building, what are your just initial thoughts about the Lions' win over the Cardinals this weekend?
I mean, I think we have a very good defense on our hands. That's the biggest takeaway from this game. And, like, looking back at last season, I don't think it's a race for our offense to get to 30 points anymore. I mean, holding teams under 20 in 3 straight weeks. Our defensive line has played very, very well. We had a stout run defense last year. And I mean, the pass defense has definitely picked up. And I only see more improvement coming from our young cornerbacks like Terrion Arnold. Hopefully Ennis Rakestraw gets healthy. But I mean, Amik Robinson, Carlton Davis, they've all played really well. And we all know what our safeties are.
Yeah, and the thing too is we're gonna get into it more as I keep saying. But this defense actually was. It wasn't 100% healthy. You could even argue that the linebacking core and the secondary in some ways at times was depleted, and they still absolutely played their ass off. JB Smooth, how are you feeling? Just your initial thoughts on the Lions' 20-13 victory at Arizona on yesterday.
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, it wasn't the prediction that I was going for with my bet, but hey, a win is a win regardless. And I feel the same way as Chase. Like, I'm getting more and more confident in this defense and allowing them to go out there and just, let Aaron Glenn scheme up the best that he can. I know Terrion Arnold has some things he has to clean up, but honestly, it'll come with time. Just more reps out there, and he'll get better at it. There's no need to, be scared of what he's doing out there. But honestly, I'm happy with this defense, and hey, they did everything that we told them to do. Run the damn ball. We cannot express that enough. Run the damn ball.
Run the damn ball.
Yeah.
That is exactly why I say, one of the reasons I say that Ben Johnson had a bounce back week, which you absolutely love to see. And just very, very quick on the Detroit Tigers, because we're going to break them down in detail. This upcoming week is probably going to be a lot of Tigers. Man, I love it that in this stretch against Baltimore at home for 3, KC and Baltimore on the road for 6. That's 9 games the Lions went 7-2. And oh, by the way, the Minnesota Twins, they drop a doubleheader. They get blown out in both games of the doubleheader. You just hate to see it.
Detroit Tigers, man. You talk about a fired up weekend. I know Broder and T. Foss on Woodward, Maine, you guys alluded to it. This has been one of the better Septembers in a long time in Detroit sports. maybe Detroit sports history. I know that we had some glory years kind of in that 2000s and late 90s, but this feels good. I know we're going to talk a lot more about University of Michigan, but just to see them go out there, handle expectation, kind of look like the team that I thought they could be, which gave me optimism. I was like, okay, a whole lot more to clean up, but at least that pound and ground. And then you look at the Lions, the pound and ground. And what I love about David Montgomery, man, is the fact that he's a guy that he's going to get you your 3, 4, 5 yards, but it's just the violence in which he does it. That, you know what? Yes. You're going to hear everybody say, get him the ball, get him the ball, get him the ball. And you're going to see David Montgomery take that personally. And just some of those runs, some of those first downs, even the one he was lifted up in the air.
Oh.
I mean, it was just like, yo, this is incredible. Get that man the ball.
More on that later. I got a couple of videos of the Lions, not just David Montgomery, a couple other ones of them absolutely making plays and showing out. And you know what else? I completely forgot to mention. Do you know who else is choking on their own you-know-whats at this point? The Kansas City Royals, man.
Ooh.
They just had a homestand in which they went winless. And I get it. It's not over yet. The Tigers still have a lot of work to do, and we're going to break it down as the week goes on. But
yeah,
it's been amazing how the Tigers are the hottest team in baseball, and then you've got the Twins and the Royals just imploding all over themselves. As I said before, you just hate to see it.
Yeah, what a weekend. What a weekend. You can feel the energy. KG, what up, though, brother? You good in there?
Trying to be.
And I love the shirt,
You know what, KG? Now that you're here, I got to ask you the question.
What
Just
up,
your
though?
initial thoughts before we break anything down of the Lions' victory over the Cardinals.
It was a very good win on the road. I mean, of course, you would like them to kind of on the, towards the second half, put the nail in the coffin. But overall, I thought the defense played a great game. They got back to their identity offensively, running the ball. They ran the ball so good that Monty levitated for 5 yards. So it was absolutely crazy. But Jared Goff going 14 for 14 through 2.5 quarters of football, I thought was very good. Of course, the run game. And then, like I said, defensively, they just held it together, man, in the face of everything with injuries to, Derek Barnes and I forgot who else got injured. Oh, yeah, Aleem McNeil. So I thought they did a great job.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. And Herb Nash, unfortunately, with not a great comment. But you know what? The best part is that we can break it down more in these next coming segments. Anybody else thinks Terrion gives Okuda vibes?
Not at all.
No.
Not
even close.
Herb Nash, I would love to hear why you said that, because I've got some numbers and some video on Terrion Arnold that proves that he played himself a hell of a game. And you know what? We're going to get to that, I believe, in the 8:30 hour. But before we break down this Lions defense anymore, Kool-Aid, tell us about Premier Pet.
Hey, you know what? Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. They'll offer you the same prices and all the conveniences of the online and the big box retailers with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned for over 30 plus years, and they carry over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. Visit them online, www.premierpetsupply.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar? Oh. Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Want to know where the best pregame Lions party is September 30th? Join us now at Detroit's very own second best bar, located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show, only at second best bar. Come get some.
Absolutely. And what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hey, listen, man, that's the way to get back to the win column. All right, which doesn't surprise me one bit. You guys came to work. It was the best week we've had. And here's what I love, man. This week we talked about it. This was one of those, man, gritty, like unglorious type of games you were going to need to play. And you did that across the board, man. And that's, at the end of the day, that's our baseline, man. That's our baseline. And that showed up today. Listen, run game, 188, O-line. 188 on the ground. Great job. All right, defense, you gave up 77. That's outstanding. We won the rush battle. All right, and the other thing is this quarterback had 45 yards rushing, man. That is by far the lowest of the season for him. You guys did exactly what we talked about. Across the board, we really won because of the run game and because of field position. Fox, Dorse, you guys, outstanding, man. All right, listen. So I do have one game ball here, all right, and this may be a little oddball to some of you guys, but before we got him, who I think is one of the best, this guy was here for a number of years. Mr. Brett Fisher, get up here, man. Let's go. Feels good to win, doesn't it? You guys earned it. Break it down.
Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Hey, team win, team win. Way to go. Win on three, 1, 2, 3.
What up, though, people? And we are back. Thank you guys for choosing to kick off your Lions Victory Monday with the WUW Crew. And look, the star of that, you know, what stole the show? Aaron Glenn and that Detroit Lions defense. Aidan Hutchinson, another game, another sack, another one. And I got a number for you guys. 17.6. Do you know what that is?
That's the amount of points per game the Lions defense is giving up in the first 3 games this season.
And they've been put in some pretty tough spots at times. They've been asked to go and get the ball back several times within the last 5 minutes of games. They've been asked to go and stand tall after turnovers by the offense, and this defense continues to show that they might be better than even some of the slappy Lions fans might have thought they were. Man, what a performance! 13. Just my initial thought is when you think about Kyler Murray and how we thought, okay, this guy's going to be able to come in here and have the potential to really run for 50 yards for us, and the Cardinals have an opportunity to potentially have a good ground game because of how you have to spy on him.
Yeah.
They held him in check completely.
Well, absolutely. And I think before I talk about the defense, that Dan Campbell speech, I think that's the perfect just example of why winning is just so damn important. Because I know there's going to be some people in the chat that have some concerns, but this is why winning is so important. We can just have a very, very positive show because when you win on the road in the National Football League, there's a lot of positive to accentuate. And the most positive of all, without a shadow of a doubt, was the defense. You mentioned how the Lions defense pretty much relatively held Kyler Murray in check. I mean, when you think about it, the Lions have had some trouble with mobile quarterbacks. And unfortunately, on the very first Arizona Cardinals drive of the game, Kyler Murray did get loose a couple of times. He did hit Marvin Harrison Jr. on a touchdown pass. However, for the rest of the game, Kyler Murray was pretty much a non-factor. It took him, what was it? I think he had 6.1 yards per attempt on the game, which is really, really bad, by the way. But this defensive performance, it harkens me back to, because most of you know on Fridays on Big D Energy, we do a nickel package show. And I was the one tasked with doing the Lions-Cardinals nickel package. And I asked a couple of things about the defense. I gave an over-under, first of all. one of my over-unders, and this is mine. It's not a sports book or anything like that. It's the Flannel Sam, or in this case, Freddie Polo over-under. 49.5 rushing yards for James Conner. I picked the under. Does anybody care to guess how many rushing yards James Conner had for the Arizona Cardinals?
17.
17. Great. Broder said it as well. And I also mentioned the Kyler Murray to Marvin Harrison Jr. combo. You saw it be absolutely deadly when the Cardinals blew out the Rams at home, and I had some concerns about the Lions' ability to handle that connection. Marvin Harrison Jr., he had 5 receptions for 64 yards and a touchdown. However, how many times did Kyler Murray target Marvin Harrison Jr.? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
The correct answer is 11. So that means that when Kyler Murray targeted Marvin Harrison Jr., that he had less than a 50% completion percentage. You will take that any day of the week. You're going to give up some plays to a receiver like Marvin Harrison Jr., but that to me is as much holding him in check as you possibly can. And the most important thing of all, how many points did the Lions defense allow this game?
13.
13. You're going to win 99% of the games you play in the National Football League when you hold your opponent to 13 points. That is an NFL offense that has shown a lot of flashes, that looked good against Buffalo, that looked great against the Rams, that this Lions defense held to 13 freaking points. And one of the reasons they were able to do that, does anybody care to guess what the Arizona Cardinals did on third down in this game? Anybody?
Talk to me.
1 for 9.
Ooh.
1 for freaking 9. All of these numbers, man, are just, they're getting me bricked up. And everybody should be bricked up in this room because the Lions defense was absolutely dominant. And I actually think the most impressive was what the Lions defense was able to do in the second half. And don't get me wrong, Jack Fox and his punting, he gave the Cardinals a lot of bad field position in the second half. But there was also a Jared Goff interception. One of his only bad plays of the game. Threw it right to Dennis Gardeck. The Cardinals got the ball in Lions territory, I believe, 1st and 10 at the 33. Yep. And what did the Lions defense do? They forced a 4-and-out turnover on downs.
They answer every time.
That's the thing. I mentioned this all the time on the watch party yesterday. The Lions offense was not able to put the Cardinals away in the second half at all. 7 possessions, 3 points. That's a lot. That's, I would say, actually, the Lions scored 0 points. The Cardinals had 7 second half possessions with 3 points. And that's because every time the Lions offense, had to punt, turnover on downs, do an interception, the Lions defense came through and held the Cardinals to only 3 points in the second half and pretty much closed down the club on the game. One of the most impressive performances I've ever seen from a Lions defense, and that is not hyperbole.
And they had the pressures going. This is one of those games where, to the detractors of pressures and the impact that it actually has on a game, this is the one where you take the game footage and you send it to them and you show them. This is how you contain a mobile quarterback. You could see clearly what this defense did this year was an improvement over what they did last year against quarterbacks of the same nature. And just to see them kind of take a page out of that Michigan versus Penix book in the national championship game, we talked about it. He's going to see different coverages. And he's mobile. We heard he's going to run all over Michigan. We heard that he has the arm, that if he breaks containment, he got the arm to get it down the field. But in this game, even though the offense didn't put this team away, I never had any doubts or worries about the defense because it looked like they knew every time they stepped on the field, like they were like, bat, 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 every single time. This defense, man. And so the physicality of the game, you could see Kyler Murray starting to limp, starting to drag, starting to be off the passes down the stretch. Remember the national championship game with Michigan? We saw Penix all of a sudden. The accuracy is all over the place. Kyler Murray was throwing passes over the head of the receivers. And why? Because those cornerbacks. We're stride for stride. I don't care if there's a little flag here and there. Rookie secondary members are going to sometimes get picked on in this league. And I know you got some stuff to vindicate one TA.
More on the secondary later.
But what are we talking about? We're complaining. If you're sitting here complaining about anybody in that secondary where the Lions are putting up 17.6 points per game, we're not getting sauced for 250 yards by anybody. These quarterbacks that are mobile, they're not getting out there and say freaking Moxie Baker Mayfield. they're not really having an effect on the games.
Nope. And Broder, I got to get your thoughts on the defense, man, because they have been playing lights out, or as lights out as you can possibly play in the NFL.
Yeah, it's at each level, too. It's the defensive line. It's the linebackers who were without Alex Anzalone yesterday. Let's not forget that. And it's the secondary. To me, and I just have Neil just ringing in my head like you don't win in the NFL with field goals. You don't win in the NFL with field goals. And this defense held to the Arizona Cardinals to field goals at home. Yep. A bunch of stupid birds. I guess the Panther's not a bird, but Detroit had a good weekend against the birds. They held them to field goals at home. The Lions scored 3 touchdowns on the road. There's the formula right there.
Yep. Yeah. There's nothing more you could have asked from this defense. And I think throughout most of the season and through parts of last year, a lot of us have started to shift our thoughts on Aaron Glenn. Mm-hmm. We got to give this man a lot of credit today. Because I think at least in these first 3 games, there's a lot of football left to play. The Lions still have 14 games left to go. But at least in these first 3 games, Aaron Glenn is going a long way in proving that the reason why the Lions' defenses were so poor the last couple of years was because of personnel, not because of Aaron Glenn. You've seen all of the upgrades that they've made to the defensive line and to the secondary. And you see it when you watch the games. You see the secondary look night and day from what it was last year. You see the defensive line get more consistent pressure in every single game. You see a guy like Levi Onwuzurike, for example, coming back a healthy season and playing very, very well. You see this Lions defense able to withstand injuries. Alex Anzalone not playing and the Lions defense gives up 13 points. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Nobody saw that coming. Not 13. Nope. Maybe 20, 24, but not 13. Nope. And on top of that, Derek Barnes goes down early in the game. The linebacking core, by definition, was depleted. However, that also speaks to the depth. Jack Campbell, I thought, had a really, really good game, all things considered. He did his job. But then you rely on guys like Malcolm Rodriguez, who was a starter in 2022. Jalen Reeves-Maybin. I even saw multiple Ben Neiman sightings out there. And this isn't a shot at Ben Neiman, but there were moments where I'm like, man, Ben Neiman's really in the game. The Lions linebacking core really is injured. But every single one of them played well. I'd say the only bad play was that Jalen Reeves-Maybin personal foul, but that's fine. All's well that ends well because the Lions were able to get the win. And even coming into the game, you knew there would be no Iffy. You knew there would be no Rakestraw. You know there's probably not going to be a Mosley until very, very late into the season. And still, the Lions defense gave up 13 points. The Arizona Cardinals in the first 2 games scored 69 combined. Nice, by the way. That's 34.5 per game, and the Lions defense held them to 13. Are you kidding me? Aaron Glenn, first 3 games, coordinator of the year.
Like, think about it. Kyler Murray, 6.1 yards average passing yards.
That's a bad yards per attempt, guys.
Well, their running back, the highest total, not Kyler Murray, but the highest total, 17? What are we, like, these are silly numbers. When we talk about video game numbers, when guys go bananas, for defense, these are video game numbers right here. Yeah. For a team, like, the reason why I'm so like, I'm glad that we're giving Aaron Glenn his flowers, it's not just for this game. What this game represented was one of those demons that he had to slay here. Yeah. You know what I mean? The mobile quarterback, the talent, because we hear all these things when we hear people talk about why Jared Goff isn't. Well, here you go. You got a guy that's supposed to have an arm, supposed to have the mobility, supposed to be. I saw all of the articles this week on the national platform that Kyler was moving into elite tier status because of everything that he has. And you see a guy like Jared Goff continue to be Mr. Consistent. The 8.7, almost 9 yards per attempt and such. I know we're going to talk about the offense a little bit later, but it's just amazing. I wanted to be able to compare that when you see just the job that AG is doing overall. It's just like, when they gave that poll that he was that guy that the players around the league would want to play for in terms of coordinators, it shows that this organization has the right pulse on what they're doing right now.
Well, and the best part is that Kyler Murray through the first couple of games deserved all the praise that he was getting. He literally had a perfect passer rating against the Rams. But against the Lions, it was, I believe, in the mid-70s. And like you said, 6.1 yards per attempt, besides for the first drive, not really doing anything on the ground, not being able to scramble around much and make big plays. It was a masterclass, and I didn't even mention. Remember who else went out with an injury and didn't return? Ali McNeil. How did the Lions do this?
I was told that Hutch doesn't get sacks on mobile quarterbacks.
Well, hey, more on that later because he is building himself a campaign, and I think what campaign you guys know that I'm talking about.
It.
But, you know, if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan, we'll let you have some Dispo. And how would you like $10 of free products from Dispo Dispensary? Screenshot this image with the QR code and bring it into any Dispo location.
Polo.
And you'll get a free $10 to spend in-store with a minimum purchase of $25. Visit Dispo Dispensary today or disposhops.com. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
And you know what? If Dispo isn't your thing, you can always head over to New Holland. Have you heard of Long Drink, the gin-based cocktail? Well, they've got one made right here in Michigan so you can support locally, made with all natural ingredients for better flavor. Call her the Dutch Long Drink from New Holland Brewing Company that is shoulders above everything else. Made from New Holland small batch gin, 100% real grapefruit puree for a fresh and delicious flavor for you. Call her is your local long drink. Get it today.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Planet Fitness, it's fitness that fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
And we are back. It is Lions Victory Monday, and it feels so good. Look, I was telling the fellas, like, man, if you've ever been to Fogo de Chao, they got some fire beef ribs, man. And that's what Lions Victory Monday tastes like right now. Oh, it's amazing. It's exquisite, man. Ooh. Super Bowl season, Super Bowl expectations. Exquisite. It's exquisite, man. Thank you, chat family. As always, you guys are the most important part of this thing. Today, it's competing with Lions Victory Monday, but still, we need you all to go ahead and smash that like button and support the WUW Crew. And you know what? I got to read this real quick because I know we're talking about the secondaries here, and I read it to you guys already. Michael Bodo in the chat, they showed a stat yesterday that Murray was averaging 3.5 seconds per pass the first two games and only 2.7 seconds versus the Lions. And I know that pass rush has a whole lot to do with it. It's like, hey, what's this game for the Lions? Just get rid of the ball.
Yep, that's a seismic difference. Yeah. I think it explains a lot. It helps the secondary because,
there you go.
You know, more on the secondary just a second. It helps the secondary because, as I've mentioned before, even if you're Terrion Arnold or Carlton Davis, who I think have played pretty well this season, and I think both very well in this last game, if you have to cover a Marvin Harrison Jr. for like 7-10 seconds, it's not ideal. However, speaking of covering, that Lions secondary played their ass off against the Cardinals.
Right.
And before we really get into the minutia of it all, Terrion Arnold, more on him in a second, he made a very, very big play on Marvin Harrison Jr. when it looked like the Cardinals, if the Cardinals hit this, they might be able to get a touchdown before half instead of a field goal. And JB, I want you to play that right now because this is Terrion Arnold being big time. He's matched up with Marvin Harrison Jr. one-on-one.
Yeah.
And look at that. Forces the incomplete pass and forces the Arizona Cardinals to kick a field goal.
You said that's on Harrison, right?
That's on Marvin Harrison Jr.
So you mean that, 11 targets, one of those misses was because of that type of defense?
Well, there was more of... Terrion Arnold, from what I saw, was on Marvin Harrison Jr. more than any other cornerback. Carlton Davis had some as well. But Terrion Arnold was spectacular in this game. I don't think there's any two ways about it. I know he got a pass interference at one point, but let me give you some numbers when it comes to Terrion Arnold in this game. We already know, I gave it to you, I'll repeat it again. Marvin Harrison Jr. did have 5 receptions for 64 yards and a touchdown, and that sounds good. And credit to him, he's going to be a damn good receiver in this league for a long time. But it took 11 targets for him to get that, which means that's less than a 50% completion percentage by Kyler Murray when targeting Marvin Harrison Jr. But Terrion Arnold, speaking of less than 50% completion percentage, when Terrion Arnold was the primary defender on any receiver, he was targeted 8 times. He gave up 3 receptions for 47 yards, and that is good for a 57.8 passer rating allowed when targeted.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
You would take that any day of the week.
Let's go.
Against any receiver in the league. And I'll tell you what, man.
Okudah wasn't doing that.
Okudah certainly wasn't doing that. And I'll tell you what, there were some things to maybe criticize a little bit about Terrion Arnold in the first couple of weeks. I'll give you that. He's a rookie playing his first couple of games. But in this game, primarily guarding Marvin Harrison Jr., he looked like a veteran Pro Bowl corner for this game. It shows me that he's going to be just fine. He's going to be, I would say, at the very least, top 5 in Defensive Rookie of the Year rating when this season is over. And I got to give my flowers to Terrion Arnold. He was spectacular in this game.
Yeah, and you know what? I see you, Jay, cruising in the chat. He said Arnold had bad ones and good ones, but the rookie's killing it. And you know what? It's not just a rookie thing. All cornerbacks, every single game, are going to have bad ones and are going to have good ones. It's like, you see a Darius Slay, and he's like, you have to have like a short memory. These things are going to happen. Yeah. And he gives up his cake. Bro, you burned me. I'm going to get you next time. And that's what it's got to be. For me, what excites me about Terrion Arnold, it's exactly what, Flannel just broke down, what the tape shows. Yeah. This guy is running with the receivers more times than not. He's able to make a play on the ball more times than not. Those flags, those things will get figured out. And as the NFL continues to understand, I believe that there's complete star potential there and star appeal with Terrion Arnold. And as they understand the type of asset he can be, I do think that some of those things are going to start to change a little bit. Because I believe he's playing the cornerback position right now. Some things to clean up, but he's playing it the way you want him to play. He's on that right track. And the physicality. He's the type of guy that when he makes the hit, you're not dragging him. You're not pushing him several yards down the field on a consistent basis. It's generally, I'm hitting you, and that's where you're at.
Yep. Broder, I want to get your thoughts on the secondary. You can go to Terrion Arnold. You can take it any direction that you want. But how do you feel the secondary played?
Yeah, I'll start with Terrion Arnold, and I'll be quick because the main criticisms that I see, and really one of the only issues, it's the penalties, it's the handsiness. Some to me are ticky-tack, but I understand how some of them are being called. But what I think about when I see that is like he's there to have a flag thrown on him. Like how many times last season and years past are these wide receivers completely wide open or they're on these big plays where Cam Sutton or the DBs just aren't anywhere near the play to even get a penalty thrown on them. At least he's there. He'll have the handsiness coached out of him. The fact that he's that type of competitor, looks that good against Marvin Harrison Jr. is special. You look at other big plays that happen. That what was it, 4th down? Where Kyler Murray tried to stretch across the first down line. It ended up being reversed. That was Carlton Davis on the tackle. Like, they've picked the right guys. They brought in guys that are not only what they need from a coverage standpoint, but can tackle. And they did it yesterday. And I'll pass it back to you guys, but we could have a whole segment on Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch,
Yep.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just getting started.
Oh, yeah, and I got to give my flowers to Kirby Joseph and Brian
Big Kirk.
Branch. Hey, Kirby Joseph with yet another interception, which was the best part about that one was it was at such a big stage of the game. The Cardinals looked like they were in position to, at the very worst, kick a field goal, but Kyler Murray, he lofted one up, put a little bit too much air under it into the end zone, and Kirby Joseph came down with it, playing free safety, playing that free safety the way that Parker Meadows plays center field for the Tigers. You absolutely love to see it. And Kirby Joseph, man, Spencer Raxter, our buddy Justin, they both said that they think Kirby Joseph will lead the league in interceptions this year, and I thought they were a little over their skis. But you know what? 2 in 3 games,
he's that man.
That's about as good as you can possibly get. And not only was it this game, it was the game against the Rams, and it brings me to this point. Not only does Kirby Joseph have 2 interceptions in 3 games, he has 2 end zone interceptions in 3 games. That's about as big as you can possibly be.
Yep.
And oh, by the way, he was amazing in coverage. He was great against the run. Kirby Joseph is on his way to a Pro Bowl season. And speaking of Pro Bowl seasons, Brian Branch as well. I saw the Shaquille Oatmeal in the chat say that Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch are trending to be a top 3 safety duo in the league. Argue with the wall. I'm not arguing this week. And I'm certainly not arguing what they potentially could be, and I'm not even arguing what they've done this season, because Brian Branch, let's not forget about him as well. He led the team in tackles this game. He was all over the field. He had 2 pass breakups. He was great in coverage.
Yep.
In the secondary, just thinking about how they played, it just reminds me of how different this secondary looks versus what it looked last year, even though the Lions were winning games. Last year, they got murdered by Justin Jefferson. They got murdered by CeeDee Lamb. They got murdered by Puka Nacua. They got murdered by Mike Evans. And this year, I understand they gave up some yards to Cooper Kupp and Chris Godwin.
But that's going to happen.
It just looks different. And in this game, they didn't give up yards to really anybody. This game, it wasn't even really bend but don't break the secondary. It was just, we're going to break damn near everything that you do.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful defensive performance, a beautiful performance by this young secondary, and it just shows the improvement this year as opposed to years prior.
Yeah, what I love about Curbs as well is the fact that this guy just continues to be like more than opportunistic. When you hear Matthew Stafford run up, like, oh, I see it on the footage. You know what's on the footage right now? What's on the tape right now? Throw it his way. Throw it out there. Take the shot into the end zone. And I think it's another added layer to this defense, especially if you believe that you're going to try and pick on the cornerbacks at all. Curbs has just been this ultimate safety blanket, and it's more now than just, hey, who's he going to be? It's more than it's on tape now for a long period of time. He's turning into something special. And I see you, JTDAR. He says, so Kool-Aid, are you saying the refs will stop throwing flags once he's recognized as an NFL top defensive back as it relates to Terry Arnold? And no, I think that in a league where some calls are judgment calls, I do believe that as he continues to prove who he is and gains that respect, that he will get more of the benefit of the doubt to start going his way as well. It's going to also take him having to work to improve and to get better and to not plateau as well. And I do believe that Terry Arnold, with the dog that we see him be, and that's why I'm glad that everybody has seen it, like, yo, this defense is hitting hard. That was what we liked last year, and you're seeing the rookies step right in, and they're meeting the standard as well. Yep. I love it.
And before we move on to the defensive line and Aidan Hutchinson being the leader of a certain award, starting the campaign for the award right now.
Might as well.
It wasn't, and I hope that I did a good job of really painting that picture before, but I want to just do it again before we go to break. It wasn't just that the secondary was making big plays in this game and that they pretty much relatively shut down a pass game, a Kyler Murray pass game about as much as you possibly can. It was the high leverage moments. It was Terrion being on an island with Marvin Harrison Jr. and getting a big pass breakup when it looked like the Cardinals might attempt to score a touchdown before the half. Instead, they got a field goal. When you look at Kirby Joseph, I wanted to give the specifics. The interception in the Rams game was when the Rams were fixing to maybe tie the game at 10 going into the half. Instead, they were down 10-3. The interception in this game, to be specific, the Arizona Cardinals in their very first drive coming out of half. When if they score anything there, they've got a lot of momentum because they scored a field goal before the half. It was 2nd and 3 from the Lions' 36-yard line. That's pretty favorable for an offense. And Kyler Murray, for some reason, decides to throw a pop-up to the end zone, and Kirby Joseph comes down with it. So not only were they big plays, they were high-leverage big plays, ice water in the veins of those young Detroit Lions secondary members, and you just love to see it.
Man, you love to see it. You love to see it. And this defense, I think it can continue to grow into something even more special than what we see right now. The foundation is there. Detroit Lions victory Monday.
Absolutely. And you know what? Where should you start your Detroit Lions victory Monday with? Woodward and Maine, of course. Hey, Detroit, on game day, wake up with Woodward and Maine, your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champions, your Detroit Lions, with insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder. Get ready, Detroit, every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m., Woodward and Maine, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller Your Local Long Drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And you should also watch the pregame show afterwards. Those two guys, Neil and Sean, if those aren't trustworthy fellas, I don't know what you're looking at. But it's the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Every game day, Neil Rule and Sean Belesian bring you the best Lions pregame show, Sunday 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports, live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. The latest injury reports, fantasy sit-and starts, and the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions. Join us for every Sunday home games live at Second Best Bar in Detroit, your official guide to Lions game day. On Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller Your Local Long Drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10-plus years of experience and 24/7 availability, scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
KDK got your back. Hey, listen, the secondary has the defense is back, man. The Detroit Lions, they gave us Lions victory Monday. Victory over the Arizona Cardinals, and check this, 20-13. Suffocating defense to start the year. 17.6 points per game is what the Lions are giving up to their opponents, man. And I just wonder sometimes, like, when the offense gets rolling, how much more nasty do things get? But you know what? With Aidan Hutchinson, we're not asking that question. This guy is already off a nasty stretch. A sack at least in each one of these games, and he's just off to a tear. The pressures, too, is one thing that if you didn't really respect it as much last year, this year you cannot deny the impact of Aidan Hutchinson.
Oh, you saw a couple times in the second half where Aidan Hutchinson forced incomplete throws by Kyler Murray, and we've already told you that the Cardinals had 7 possessions and scored 3 points in the second half. So the Lions defense did a great job, and we talked about the secondary, but you also have to talk about Aidan Hutchinson with him getting consistent pressure on Kyler Murray. And it wasn't just that. I want to give a whole shout out to the defensive line as a whole, because Kyler Murray did not kill you with his legs. Kyler Murray did not kill you with his scrambling ability. The Lions, not only were they getting pretty consistent pressure with both Aidan Hutchinson and Levi Onwuzurike, I think he was another one of the standouts of Sunday. It was that they played disciplined. They weren't over pursuing. They had integrity when it comes to rushing the passer. They knew that if you let Kyler Murray get outside, if you lose contain, that's where he's oftentimes most deadly. That's where he was most deadly in the game against the Rams the previous week. And to me, that's just film study. That's just playing smart, and you love to see it. But the reason why we're here right now is because I am officially on the Aidan Hutchinson for Defensive Player of the Year campaign. The man has 6.5 sacks in 3 games. And I get it. It's very, very early, but that's a pace. And this is a 3-game stretch. This isn't just one game. That's a pace for over 34 in a season, which he's not going to get there. He's not going to get there, and I'm not even calling for him to break the record. But Aidan Hutchinson, man, he leads the NFL in sacks right now. He's getting consistent pressure on whatever quarterback he plays, whether it's Stafford, whether it's Baker Mayfield, whether it's Kyler Murray. This man is an absolute menace. And in this game, you got to give him credit for that as well. It was kind of like the Rams game where he was getting consistent pressure, but in a very, very big moment in the fourth quarter, comes down with the sack when the Arizona Cardinals are driving to potentially get a touchdown, which would have cut the lead to 20-17 on a first down. Aidan Hutchinson with a nasty, nasty move. JB, put it up there right now. Look at this Defensive Player of the Year type play from Aidan Hutchinson. Look at that man. Just watch Hutch right there. Look at that spin. Look at the spin. Dead. And Kyler Murray has nowhere to go with the football, just has to eat it. That is a Defensive Player of the Year caliber play. You see him adding some things to his repertoire as well.
Man, that's what Ben Wallace like.
Aidan Hutchinson will be the 2024 NFL Defensive Player of the Year, and he's just been so impactful on this Lions defense, which, as we said before, is allowing 17.6 points per game. So crazy. Aidan Hutchinson appreciation segment right here. Broder.
Who did James Conner have to chip on that? The play was on Aidan Hutchinson, but who did James Conner have to chip? Levi Onwuzurike. Not Quentin Bohanna. Not Benito Jones. No offense, the run defense last year was good. It was Levi O. DJ Reader's out there. Like this, the talent around Hutch is so much better now. It's not that he needed the help last year to get the sacks. It's that everything he was doing last year to get all the pressures, there's now so much talent around him that he can't be the singular focal point. So if he does have that motor, if he is going to be pressuring the quarterback all game long, eventually he's going to get home. I'll say it. He's going to break the record this year. I don't know how you can. This is against elusive quarterbacks that get the ball out quick, good teams. And yes, there have been some backup linemen, but Hutch, unless he gets hurt, he's not going away. His motor will start play 1 to the final play of the game, all 17 games of the season.
I don't think this man's ever taken a playoff in his career.
Ever.
And you mentioned it perfectly because James Conner at that point, you've got to make a decision because one of them's going to get there. Yeah. It's either going to be Levi O or it's going to be Aidan Hutchinson. And James Conner, I mean, I think he made the wrong choice, but you know what? It's all good because there's that option now. As you said before, Benito Jones ain't doing that. Quentin Bohanna's not doing that. I mean, respect to them. They did what they had to do defending the run last year, but I'm glad to have Levi Onwuzurike back healthy. I'm glad to have DJ Reader in there. I'm glad to have Ali McNeil, although he did go out with an injury in this game. This defensive line as a whole, I think, has played exceptionally, at least all things considered, in the first 3 games. And Levi Onwuzurike, as I said before, if you're talking about Aidan Hutchinson as the superstar on this defensive line, which he undoubtedly is, Levi Onwuzurike, I think, has been the second most effective pass rusher on this Lions defense. And, hey, we heard that he had an exceptional camp.
I was about to say, Zeitler was telling the truth, huh?
He's playing like it right now.
So far, so good.
He has validated all of the training camp hype, and you just love to see it. Maybe that 2021 draft gets even better. If Levi Onwuzurike shows out, we're talking about one of the all-time drafts in NFL history, and no, that is not hyperbole.
Man, this defensive line, it's just the nastiness that they play with, and it's with Hutch right now. It's what I've asked you, I think, now 3 times during breaks. It's, will he get a sack a game? I'm looking at how he's playing the game right now, and he got one on Kyler Murray, somebody who I heard, hey, he might not get one this week because it's a mobile quarterback. And one thing I'm gonna track this year as well is just the quarterbacks. I'm gonna see if they continue to track these trends and put them out there. are the opposing quarterbacks shortening up the time in which they have the ball? Because you talk about now you have to have a completely different game plan. What if you want it? What if you're a team that likes to be able to rely on airing out the ball right now? Now all of a sudden everybody's reducing the amount of time that they have the ball before they make a pass by almost a second. That's an incredible thing, and you know it starts from this guy right here that we got up on the back wall, number 97, Aidan Hutchinson. The way that he's getting it doesn't matter if they're chipping, if they're double teaming, it really is not mattering. He's still putting so much pressure on the quarterback, and I'm glad that he's getting home because he deserves the credit, but you already know how people would be if he didn't have these sack numbers right now.
Oh yeah, I like to call them morons, but that's beside the point. We're all going to kumbaya on Aidan Hutchinson right now, and all stand behind him as he continues on his Defensive Player of the Year campaign. And you mentioned it, I think, very eloquently. If you're a quarterback right now and you don't have a very stout offensive line, if you even have one tackle that's hurt or one guard that's hurt or somebody that's hobbled, you know that you're probably in for a long day. In the case of Matthew Stafford, it was just those get rid of the ball quick, those short passes. In the case of Baker Mayfield, enjoy these 5 sacks. In the case of Kyler Murray, you're not going to be able to do what you do best, which is scramble around, buy time, run the ball, like get some back-breaking 3rd and 10 scrambles, or find Marvin Harrison Jr. deep, or find Trey McBride over the middle. This Lions defensive line is coming. And I know we're going to talk about this a lot more as the week progresses. A week from today, if I'm the Seattle Seahawks offensive line, let's just say that I think it's a matchup that the Lions and Aidan Hutchinson can exploit. But more on that as the week goes on.
God, beat the Seahawks.
Oh,
beat the Seahawks. Aaron Glenn, you already know Aaron Glenn is probably like, oh yes, this year. But with Aidan Hutchinson, man, you can't say enough good things about him, man. Just the level of aggression that he's bringing and the level of physicality, and the fact that now he has a whole gang with him. You know, that's what's awesome is that Brad Holmes and Cole, they know exactly what they're doing. I see that people are giving Marcus Davenport some love in the chat as well. We got to make sure we call him out. And at this team, it has the depth, but at full strength, even at not full strength, who's competing with them right now? It's amazing.
Yeah, you better hope that you've got a great offensive line. But hey, the best that you can hope to do if you're an opponent coming in to play the Lions, whether at Ford Field or at your own place, is to have the second best offensive line in the NFL, because you're not going to have the first. Just had to get that out.
No, man, but with Hutch, you know, and JB, I want to be able to get your take on it as well, man. Aidan Hutchinson, absolute monster this year, and I wanted to be able to ask everybody really the question, but do we see the effects of Tyrell Williams already? Because I feel like last year, though Hutch was still a monster and was getting the pressure, sometimes there was a little bit of an over pursuit, but this year he seems a little bit more contained as he's getting to the quarterback and getting after him.
You know, I agree with that. I feel like he's just kind of figured out that he doesn't need to just go full 100% every single play. He knows he can, like, still stay a little bit conservative, but still get after it. I remember, as Flannel said, the dude just doesn't take time off. He takes no plays off. I believe after the spin move sack that you've seen right here, he got back up and was kind of like, had his, hands on his hip, huffing and puffing just a little bit, but he looks over to another lineman and, gives him that head nod like, yo, you ready? All right, let's get back to it. And it's boom, right back again to the next play. Like, the man is just a beast. Like, it's damn impressive. That's all I got to say.
There's not, and I get it, there's a lot of great players in the NFL. There's a lot of hard-working superstars in the NFL. By definition, if you're a superstar, you've got to play the game the right way and play hard. But I don't think there's anybody who expends more energy in an NFL game than Aidan Hutchinson. And if he can continue to get the help from his defensive line, which he's gotten, if he can continue to go to that level which he's reached this season, the sky is the absolute limit. Defensive Player of the Year is the limit, which he is going to win, by the way.
Man, no Alex Anzalone.
Yep.
Defensive line was eaten. That puts a little bit more pressure on the secondary. 13 points given up. There's things we can criticize. There's things we can say need to get better. But I'm sorry, bro. They just took this hot Arizona Cardinals team and said, your offense doesn't matter to me.
Nope. And to be honest, I'll go one step further. Yeah, there's some things that you can criticize offensively, you can't criticize nothing on this defense.
Not the thing.
Nothing.
Oh, man. You know what, man? It's been awesome. I can tell you guys about something else awesome. It's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a precision haircut. Scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment. I know you guys, when we got the camera on the mask chair in the second hour of the show, I know that you guys are taking notice because we see the chats. We see the chat. So get in here, take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Just scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. It's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Caesars Sportsbook. Because what if I told you could place a bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you get that bet right back? I know you would think I was crazy, but trust me, I'm not. Scan the QR code on the screen right now. Use promo code Woodward1000, and if you deposit up to $1,000, you can deposit up to $1,000, and if that bet does not hit, you will get it right back into your account. I know a couple of people's bets didn't hit this weekend, especially if you're out in Arizona rooting for the Cardinals. Just saying. Just saying. But Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code. Use code Woodward1000.
That's pretty elite ad reading there. On the Lions Victory Monday, you found a way to slip in the shade, too. I like that. Fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you are gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com. Choose your favorite roast. Use code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind. Support local and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Hey, what up, though, people? And we are back. We appreciate you guys for kicking off your day with Wake Up Woodward, the WUW Crew on Alliance Victory Monday. Hey, it's the energy. It's always awesome. I don't care what's going on that day. When the Lions go in and they do it, they win, especially the way that they have, man. It's just time to celebrate it with the chat family as well. Let's continue to get those likes up. I'm monitoring it. We get to double like goal. We got some merch giveaways for Lions Monday, Victory Monday.
Ooh,
let's go.
I gotta love the merch. But offensively in this game, it begins and ends with the Lions run game. It was as impressive, definitely as impressive as you've seen it from a full game this entire season for the Detroit Lions. And one thing, I'm going to harken back to the Detroit Lions nickel package that myself and Neil Rule did on Big D Energy on Friday. One of the other Flannel Sam, in this case Freddie Polo, over-unders, and it was me. It wasn't a sports book. 34.5 rushing attempts by the Detroit Lions. I said that they were going to go over and that they had to go over. The Detroit Lions, how many times did they rush the football in this game? Does anybody know?
Like 44 or something?
43. That is a great
Goodness.
guess, KG. 43 times for 187 yards, which is exactly what you needed. And David Montgomery gave you 23 carries for 105 and a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs had 16 for 83 and also averaged more than 5 yards per carry.
So
and
crazy.
This is where obviously you've got to give a ton of credit to David Montgomery. You've got to give a ton of credit to Gibbs, the offensive line, all of that, and they're going to get their flowers because they deserve them. But this is another one where we harken back to the whole the Lions don't lose 2 games in a row. But do you know what also doesn't happen 2 games in a row? Ben Johnson doesn't call a bad game two games in a row. And he knew that in that Tampa Bay Bucks game, in which it was a 1-score game throughout, 56 pass attempts to 27 rush attempts is not acceptable under any circumstances. And it's not a winning formula, really, for any team. So what happened this week? 43 rush attempts, 23 pass attempts. And it was beautiful. That's exactly how you want to play it when you're up, especially when you're up 10 at the half. I know that the offense didn't do a lot in the second half, but they were able to get some critical first downs on the ground. And in the first half of this game, let's look at that first touchdown drive. A steady diet of David Montgomery. 6 carries for 39 yards, punctuates it with a touchdown. The second touchdown drive, steady diet of Jahmyr Gibbs. 8 carries for 34 yards. And on the third touchdown drive, it wasn't really a run-heavy drive, but the Lions were able to convert a 3rd and 12 from midfield by handing the ball off on a draw to Jahmyr Gibbs, and he gets 14. This running game was exactly how you expect it to be. As Neil Rule often says, the Lions will run the football, and there's nothing that you can do to stop it. They've ran the ball effectively in every single game this season, and in this one, they just took the hearts of the Arizona Cardinals by just demoralizing them. And JB, I know you've got that David Montgomery video. This is obviously the most famous play from the famous offensive play from yesterday's game. Look at this David Montgomery run.
He levitates.
He stopped for about a 9-yard gain. And look at this offensive line. Look at that push forward. They literally lift David Montgomery off the ground and pull him and push him forward. Just a look at that.
Shout out Kales.
I believe I can soar.
But that's this offensive line. That's David Montgomery.
That is crazy.
He falls forward. He carries defenders with him. And look at everybody pushing. You see Zeitler. You see Amon-Ra. You see Taylor Decker lagging behind. But hey, I want to get in on the fun.
Right.
You see Penei Sewell. It's wonderful to watch. And Broder, we know that for this team to get where they want to go, they need to and are going to run the damn ball.
Yes, it sets everything up. We saw on that first drive, you highlighted it perfectly. They pounded the rock 6 times with David Montgomery. And what did it do? It opened up a nice, easy slant to Sam Laporta. Nice, easy 2 passes to Brock Wright. That's all this offense needs. You just need to establish the run. Give it to David Montgomery. Give it to Jahmyr Gibbs. And then Goff has all the time in the world. We do have to have a conversation about the pass protection on the offensive line. It's not there yet, but it didn't need to be because they were so consistent with the run game with both David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs running in between the tackles, too.
Yep.
Though I think the only play that I can remember that I really disagree with, I think it was a 3rd down, maybe a 4th down, where it wasn't just like a direct up the middle. It was a slower developing play to Gibbs, like to the right side or something. But nonetheless, their identity is the run game. Pound the rock with David Montgomery, and everything else is easy.
But that's the thing, and you mentioned it. And this is not a day to go to negative town because, I mean, you saw if Dan Campbell can be positive after the game and only positive, then Wake Up Woodward can too. However, there was another one that I didn't like as well, where they basically had David Montgomery
as a fullback.
Yeah,
that was stupid. I didn't understand that one at all.
But other than that, KG, how impressed were you with the Lions' rushing attack?
I mean, they got back to what their identity is. We have been talking about it all week. You have one of the best offensive lines in football. Line them up, set up the run, set up the play action, and then deliver. And that's what they did in this game, man. And I like the usage of the backs as well. You let Monty and Gibbs eat for a quarter apiece, man. I felt like the way they utilized them was very good. And you took advantage of a weak defensive line in the Cardinals, man. And that's what we need to continue to see every single week. be dominant in that run game, and everything else will open up for the offense as the year goes along. But just shout out to Gibbs and Monty, man. They are like the best running back duo in the NFL.
And what else does running the ball do? Especially in a game that you don't score in the second half, right? But they controlled the clock.
Yes, sir.
They
Time of
moved the
possession.
chains. They had to punt, and they used Jack Fox as a weapon. More to come on that.
Yeah.
But they controlled the run. They controlled the time of possession. What was it? 36 minutes, 49 seconds to the Cardinals, 23-11. So if you're not scoring in the second half, at least you're keeping the ball out of their hands.
Yep.
And they have a defense, which we talked about for the first hour of the show. So all that combined, there's your formula again.
Trench work, man. That's what this Detroit Lions team, to me, if there's one nickname, it's trench work. And they're absolutely showing it, man. Just the level of aggression and all the other things that we talk about with this team. Right now, this looks like a squad that you don't really want to step up against my defensive line or my offensive line at all.
Too physical.
Any team in the league. And it's really starting to make me, be so much more calm. Like I told you yesterday when we were watching that game, I was like, man, I don't know. I felt calm. I want the offense to really get rolling.
Yeah.
But I just knew the defense is going to do its thing. And that the running backs, that two-headed monster, we all deliberated, not just us, many national shows as well deliberated, the best running back rooms, the best duos, and the best backs. Ours each had over 100 total yards yesterday. Mm-hmm. Think about that. Both of our guys had touchdowns yesterday.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And you know what? It's not like one of them took from another or this and the other. Everyone's just eating. While the offense hasn't even really caught its rhythm yet, it can get really scary. And I trust Jared Goff and Ben Johnson.
Well, you have the personnel to do it. You have the personnel to have such a run-heavy game in which they had this week, especially if you have a lead. This was the first game of the season in which Gibbs and Monty went off. First game against the Rams, that was a Monty game. The second game against the Buccaneers, that was a Gibbs game. But in this one, they both went off. And I want to read this from Hoofhearted because as long as we're talking about, Jahmyr Gibbs and Ben Johnson, Hoofhearted, I like that Gibbs had 0 receptions for 20 yards in a touchdown. I guess that's what you call it when you're the one who gets lateral the ball on the hook and lateral.
That was crazy.
That was amazing. That was Ben Johnson. That was a Ben Johnson masterclass. So for that one bad play call that
you said that was a Ben Johnson middle finger to the detractors?
Yes.
That's what I heard.
Yes. That's an even better description. So for all the times, for that David Montgomery was a fullback call. I don't like that. He made up for that by helping to give the Lions what turned out to be an insurmountable lead in the first half. And of course, when you're Jahmyr Gibbs and you basically get a running start by a surprise lateral, you're gone. Mm-hmm. It's a wrap at this point. So good to see Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery both go off. Good to see the Lions run blocking be superb as it always is. And when the Lions want to run the football, there's nothing you can do to stop it. If you're a team that falls behind by, God forbid, 2 scores, good luck.
You know what, man? That's why I know that Tampa Bay Buccaneers loss is probably going to be one that just when they look at it on the schedule, they know that they let one get away. You said it best. They statistically dominated that game. There was a game plan that just didn't really follow it. And now, though, maybe you need that type of a game to happen.
Well,
so that they're more emboldened going forward with what to do.
Well, this is where they just gotta, if they want to put that all to bed, go 13-4 this season. Maybe steal one at San Francisco.
Yeah, just go ahead, just go 13-4. San Fran is not impressing me to start the year.
I'm telling you,
they had some injuries, but injuries are a part of the game. And Christian McCaffrey and Debo and Kittle go down with injuries. I'm not saying it's a trend, but these are guys who have missed significant portions of seasons before, and they've got even more tread on the tire than they've obviously had in previous seasons. So that's one that maybe the Lions can steal. Maybe they can steal one at Houston. Maybe they can steal one at Green Bay. And then this pesky Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, it can be forgotten about. Can't be now, obviously, but right now we're going to enjoy this win.
Some of the games that, when we went through like the preseason schedule that I was like, all right, I can see maybe the Lions dropping this one. Now I'm sitting here feeling like Chase, undefeated the rest of the way.
Probably not that, but
maybe not that. But it is a Lions Victory Monday, and I'm feeling good about it. Feeling good about it. And what better place to be than Woodward Sports and Wake Up Woodward? But now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss Insurance will make sure your current carrier ain't slipping in anything extra. I'm telling y'all, it is so relevant to today. You need this type of insurance, man. Hey, listen, call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. That number 313-530-1698. They'll protect you. Visit them online, swissins.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports. We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Look, head over to WoodwardSports.com and click on that shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week. You know we got the Stoke Not Scared. You know we got the Boo Them Kids right now, which I'm sure Kelly Stafford is still hearing in her ears right now. It's like a nightmare to her. You also got the Woodward Tigers as well, too. Hey, baby, we in the playoffs. Come on. You need some Tigers gear right now. Head over to WoodwardSports.com. Click on that shop tab. Wild card season.
Let's rock, man. Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for kicking off your day with the WUW Crew. Shout out to that dude, Justin, and intern Chase. We got everybody else, the whole starting 5 in the building. That is Matthew Broder, our credentialed Tigers reporter and writer for the network. We have Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth, KG, a.k.a. Black Hollywood.
What up, though?
Kelvin like this shirt.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Hey, we brought up the Russian, and we failed to mention mobile golf to seal the game. If we talk about the Russian attack, we got to bring up the way Jared Goff we got that first down.
Come on. This is his segment. Shout out to Woodward Sports' MVP. It's a victory Monday. In the titty booth, JB Smooth.
Mobile golf.
Mobile golf, man. It's a real thing.
Oh, my God.
It's a real thing.
We got the vet of the squad, Flannel Sam. Today, that is Freddie Polo for y'all. And the vet of the squad, this your boy, Brandon Den, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer. Media day is on the 30th. But right now, as KG kind of teed up there, maybe even inadvertently, we got to talk about Jared Goff, this passing attack, man.
Yeah. And you know, and it's funny that you mentioned Jared Goff was sealing the game with a run. That's probably
Vanilla
something
Vic.
that they might be able to do.
Vanilla Vic, baby.
They're probably not going to be able to do that very often.
No.
Because nobody's...
No, I was going to say he outrushed Jamison Williams. Who had that on their bingo card?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. Absolutely nobody. But, and I understand this show's got a little bit of a theme. Other than, of course, the Lions beating the Arizona Cardinals on the road, I like to hearken back to the nickel package on Friday that I did myself and Neil Rule on Big D Energy, because I think these questions were uniquely prophetic. And I'm not calling myself a prophet or anything like that. It's just a lot of things came to fruition.
Prophet Polo.
I'm not going to. I'm not one to say that. If you guys
Polo.
want to say that, you can go ahead and say that. But I'm not going to be the one to say that. So one of the questions that I asked was, will Jared Goff have his first 0 interception game of the season? I predicted yes. He did not. However, there's something. This is where winning the game means that you can accentuate the first half. The second half, we can pretend it didn't happen. Obviously not. They're going to look at the tape. They're going to clean some things up. But Jared Goff, obviously he wasn't good in the second half. And I don't think the pass blocking has really reached its pinnacle yet. I'm kind of surprised at that, because I thought Kevin Zeitler would he hasn't been bad, but I thought he'd be a little bit better.
Is Graham Glasgow, too, playing on a different side of the line than he did last year?
Not the best pass blocker. But anywho, I'd say Graham Glasgow is more responsible for that than Kevin Zeitler. But here's the point. Jared Goff was not good in the second half. We all know that. But in the first half, he was perfect. Absolutely perfect. 12 for 12, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. I think he did a great job of taking what the defense gave him. You saw him complete numerous intermediate routes to Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta, even Brock Wright got himself involved in the passing game as well, something I didn't see. And that's, I think, something that Jared Goff himself and Ben Johnson probably wanted to clean up from the previous weeks. It did seem like times that Jared Goff, and I showed it to you from some of the film in the Buccaneers game that Easy gave to me and then I broke down. I'm sure Easy did it on the heavyweights as well, that there were intermediate routes open that Jared Goff didn't hit. However, in the first half of this game at Arizona, that's all Jared Goff did. The running game set it up. Jared Goff was able to get in his play action bag, and I thought he was absolutely fabulous in the first half. He did exactly what you need Jared Goff to do. And with him playing so well in the first half, it gave the Lions, with this defense and this running game, what turned out to be the insurmountable lead that they needed. Second half struggles be damned. We can really focus in on that perfect half of football that Jared Goff played. Broder, I want to get your thoughts on Jared Goff's game overall.
Yeah, overall, it was okay. It was an improvement for sure from that Bucs game, but there are still things he's got to clean up, especially in that second half. It didn't look as clean. But what we saw out of the first half gives me so much optimism that this offense will be just fine. Like, it will be just fine, especially if they're committed to the run game, which set everything up. But to see how he was passing the ball, the plays that Ben Johnson was scripting, the reads he was making, and even his accuracy and ball placement was just that much more superior yesterday than it was for the prior 2 games. You look at that one, I believe it was a first down completion to St. Brown in the second quarter. It was like a 2nd and 15 where he hit him perfectly in stride. In front of the first down line, but he hit St. Brown so perfectly, he was able to get another 6, 7, 8 yards. Those yards after catch. You know the nuance that some people who want to hate on Goff, they don't understand that, yards after catch can come with ball placement from the quarterback. There's that. It just looked like it was so much better. It flowed so much better. He felt so much more comfortable. It seemed like he was so much more comfortable. That gives me hope. That gives me optimism.
Yeah. I mean, he only missed 5 passes on the day. One of those was an interception. The timing and the things that we talked about when you did the breakdown, it seemed like that rhythm was much better, especially with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
And you know what? I take that. Like, I saw someone earlier in the chat mention something about J-Mo's targets or whatnot, his performance. I believe that the offense did what the offense was supposed to do.
Exactly.
That's it. This offense has a plethora of ways to beat you. Amon-Ra St. Brown the first week, you know what? He didn't have one of the typical games that we're used to seeing, but Jameson Williams stepped up. That's what I like to see, that this squad, and we talked about it, whether it be defensively and now offensively, they're proving, you know what? They have different ways to really get the job done. And ultimately, when you see Goff go 12 of 12 in the first half of the game, then the defense is going to try and do something. And what did the Lions do? Pounding the rock.
Yeah.
That's what you want out of this game plan. I think that if they were in more of a pass-friendly offense, you'd probably see J-Mo get a couple more targets too.
Yeah, and I think this is another example. And I know this Lions offense has not played a complete game the way that we thought that they haven't looked their best. And I think that that's more than fair to admit. I believe, if I'm doing my math correctly, that they're averaging 22 points per game, 20 a game in regulation. However, with what you said about, I know somebody in the chat talked about Jameson Williams. You mentioned that in a lot of ways this is still a how do you want it offense. It hasn't functioned as great as we hope that you would. But in game 1, it was Monty in overtime, and throughout the game it was Jameson Williams. In game 2, not a whole lot positive to say about the offense, but I'll even give you Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown, albeit not very efficient, did get over 100 yards. But in this game, and this is where I hearken back to the nickel package question. The other question that I asked to round it out was, who will lead the Lions in receiving yards? I said Amon-Ra St. Brown. KG, you seconded me on that, and that's what he did. And one of the reasons is because I thought Jared Goff would get back to taking what the defense gave him. And you saw Jared Goff. You saw him hit those passes over the middle, those passes on those out routes, those intermediate first down throws. And I thought that this game, the Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown connection, you saw elements of what it was last year, of what makes this duo so special. I mean, look at the second touchdown of the game, the throw to Amon-Ra St. Brown. It was 3rd and goal from the 5. And what does Amon-Ra St. Brown do? He runs a great route. He fakes like he's running an out, cuts it back inside, and a beautifully placed ball from Jared Goff, touchdown. And do you know who he cooked on that play? Does anybody know who Amon-Ra St. Brown cooked on this play? It's a name we all know.
Starling Thomas?
Starling Thomas, our old buddy Starling Thomas.
Yeah.
Which, good to see him starting on an NFL team for real. But I like my chances with Amon-Ra St. Brown. And do you know when else Jared Goff relied on Amon-Ra St. Brown? To close down the game. 3rd and 12 with the Lions, I believe. Well, they were up 20-13. I believe it was right before the 2-minute warning. It was 3rd and 12, and Jared Goff hits Amon-Ra St. Brown up the middle for a beautiful 18-yard gain. Reminded me a little bit of last year's playoff game against the Rams, but that's what it is. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to get open over the middle, whether you like it or not. And if Jared Goff is able to recognize that and hit him more often than not, this Lions offense is going to be deadly. This is what this Lions offense really is. I know the JMO element down the field, that's something that I'm happy and obviously was a big-time element in the Rams and the Buccaneers game. But when the Lions offense is really functioning at its apex, it's about running the football and just controlling the middle of the field, controlling the short and intermediate, and that's what they did in this game. Very well in the first half. There were some struggles in the second half, but the offense did enough, and they even made a couple of plays in the second half that helped salt away the clock and seal the game.
Yeah, and you're saying it right, man. And Terrell from FL, he said, Kool-Aid, J-Mo was open a lot. He was missed repeatedly. Jared Goff only threw 23 passes. He missed 5.
Yeah.
1 was an interception. And when you talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown, who you identify as your number 1 wide receiver, no matter how much I love Jameson Williams, his inclusion on the team is going to both also be in part to this one thing, like Flannel just laid out.
Yeah.
The Lions and Jared Goff are at their best when they are absolutely smacking and smashing the middle of the field like it's the like button, right? So when you add a Jameson Williams who has the ability to take the top off of a defense, you know what? We just paid Amon-Ra St. Brown. Why not have somebody that can make his life a little bit easier and play more to your strengths? I'm glad that we have Jameson Williams as a weapon that we can get downfield. I'm glad that he's proving he can catch the ball also in certain, slot and slant type of responsibilities. But I'm really glad that this man will block. I'm really glad that he's taking the top off the defense. And I'm really glad that he's making life easier for the rest of his teammates. So whether he has one target or not, last year we knew he was one of those guys that was still going out there and trying to make a difference. Now that he's put the NFL on alert, it's going to change up what defenses can do. And then you're going to see some games where then Amon-Ra has a game like last night where he didn't have to where he wasn't wearing a defender like a coat on every single catch.
Right.
That's the difference that it makes.
No, it is. And the fact that they are able to still win football games when their offense is not operating at peak efficiency just yet, that speaks a lot to where this team is right now in year 4 of this offense. And I think Stick said it best yesterday on the post-game show. Just because you have a Ferrari in the driveway doesn't mean you have to drive it every day. And that's kind of what this offense is. It's a by-committee approach. And when you have an offense like this that's predicated on the run game and you have to get in rhythm in order to really get going, some days it's going to be Amon-Ra, some days it's going to be Laporta, some days it will be J-Mo, using his speed and helping this offense. But I'm just really interested to see where this offense will be maybe week 12, week 13, once they do get in the rhythm, once they are operating at peak efficiency. And be patient with this offense because everybody's going to get their shine. This is not, J-Mo's the star, we have to feed him. Amon-Ra's the star, we have to feed him. No, every game is going to be different. It's predicated on matchups and the way the defense looks. But just be patient with this offense and everything will work out, especially when they're leaning into their strength, that's being physical and running the football.
Yeah, and having a winning record, that gives you a credit line. And if you're a little bit concerned about this offense, I don't necessarily blame you. As I said before, they haven't looked like they did last year at their apex. Jared Goff has not had a full game of being really, really good like he did numerous times last year and the year before. However, it's not just the credit line. It's not just that they have almost their entire offense back from last year's juggernaut offense, or juggernaut's maybe a little too far, but a top 5 in the NFL offense. It's not just that. It's also because the offense has shown in spurts that it can still be dominant. How important was overtime against the Los Angeles Rams?
Huge.
Huge. We all can agree that the way that the offensive line performed, the way that they were able to run the ball with Monty was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen on a football field. Gotta love to see it. And also, how important was the Lions getting a double-digit lead in the first half at Arizona? Absolutely massive. That's what allowed them to hang on and, salt away the game in the second half. So yeah, we haven't seen a full game of it, but we've seen it in enough important stretches that I still believe that come in the upcoming weeks, especially after the bye week when they get an extra week to prepare. And Dan Campbell kind of alluded to this as well when he was interviewed on the flagship. I think that this offense will really find its stride and hit its stride because we've seen it. That first half, Jared Goff was perfect. They were running the ball very effectively. Even in the second half, they were still running the football. It's just, unfortunately, all of the drives stalled out, which we don't like, but victories, man.
That's what makes this comment so interesting. The offensive line looked off, and each of us are saying, yo, you know what, there's room for improvement, and we trust this offensive line. But even then, it's like Goff went perfect in the first half. Goff was largely clean in the first half.
Some of the third quarter, too.
That's what I'm saying. 187 rushing yards on 43 carries. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, 4.3 yards a carry. If that's the offensive line looking off, this team has a whole different level of scary ahead of them. And one thing that I really like about this squad is last year we were wondering, where's the depth? Not even depth. Do we got starters? We needed starters in the secondary. We were like, go get somebody at the trade deadline. This year, it's looking like they may have an opportunity as they do these rotations and as they have certain healthy scratches, like DJ Reader was a healthy scratch first game. So was James Houston. If they have the ability to kind of keep guys healthy throughout the year because they have now depth, something they didn't really have as much last year, that plays such a huge factor in what the Detroit Lions can do, especially if the offense starts to hit its stride at the same time.
Yep, absolutely. And there's one person that I think we need to give credit to that sometimes gets unnoticed, and that, of course, is Jack Fox. But before we get to Jack Fox, I have to tell you about Mark White.
Legatron.
Somebody who's impactful in his own right as well, in his own field. Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around. Who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza has a new limited time offer just in time for this football season. Soroki's is debuting their fresh signature flavored wings. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, and add fresh wings for the games this weekend. Try one of their 7 different flavors. Visit their site or order online at sorokis.com. And hey, the Boys and Girls Club. Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
Hey, and welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys just kicking off your day with the WUW Crew. We got the entire starting 5 in the building. And you know what? Sometimes, man, there are certain players on squads that can go a little bit unnoticed. But shout out to the chat family, man. You guys are on an epic run right now. A little bit more to go, and I got to give away for you guys. But JP17, can we calm down about the offense? There are 4 players on pace for 1,100 yards and our top 10 already. Xavier D, can we make Legatron, the nickname that has kind of been around for Jack Fox already, stick? Can we make that stick? Yeah, it should be definitely his name. And Kyle, ever so appropriate for this segment, Jack Fox is our secret weapon. Solid pump fake passes and monster accurate leg. It's like watching Coffin's corner kicks every single week. And we were talking about it yesterday. Flannel Sam, he is an absolute weapon. Like, you can't even afford to let the ball, if you're an opponent, if you're sitting back there waiting, can you really afford to let the ball go over your head? Because we've seen this story. We've seen Jack Fox hit it at the 2, and it's like, dang, he just pushed that into the end zone. And then it just bounces back to the 5. Like, okay, oh, golf clap. Like, what this guy does is so amazing. And I think that it does help give Dan Campbell so much more, even when he wants to be Dan Campbell, because we know that Jack Fox can also throw the ball.
Oh, yes. And as much credit that we give to the defense, and rightfully so, and we've given throughout the show as to why the Cardinals were only able to score 3 points in 7 possessions in the second half. Jack Fox, man, he had one of the best half a game punting performances I've ever seen. And that's not hyperbole, by the way. And let's just be honest, going into the season, especially with how their offense you thought it would look and how Dan Campbell likes to go for it on 4th down a lot, even in his own territory, you wouldn't expect to see Jack Fox as much as you have. But when you did see him, he was going to come through. Obviously, the defense, they were put in a bad position once when Jared Goff threw that pick, and they held on that one. But Jack Fox punted 4 times in the second half. And in those 4 punts, the Arizona Cardinals got the ball at their own 2, their own 12, their own 9, and their own 7.
Beautiful.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Can you say those? Say that one more time.
Their
for me,
own
man.
2, their own 12, their own 9, their own 7. That's 4 possessions in which they're basically backed up into their own.
Did you have Flannel talking sexy and dirty to you on your bingo card this morning?
About a punt.
I didn't. I didn't. I'm a little hot over here. I can't lie. A little hot.
But that is
Jack Fox. I see you over there, brother.
Yeah. It's a little steamy in here, man.
I mean, you're right, man. Just hearing those numbers, that is insane. Because Dan Campbell, I was sitting there second guessing certain things. Like, man, maybe they should go for it. Flannel's like, they can't Kool-Aid. They at the 25, bro.
Right.
I know, man. But still.
Right.
But it's like, you see him go out there, and it's not just where he pins people. Sometimes it's the fact that he'll go out there and boom a 60-yarder and just like absolutely flip the whole field. Because in the past, it's like, okay, we got some decent punters. But if we're punting from like, the 30, after the touchback, we get a few yards. I'm used to it being like, dang it, they shanked that mug. Now the other team is starting at the 45 or the 40. Right. Jack Fox is pushing the ball all the way down the field. And it's an absolute weapon.
Broder, I'm not going to go this far because I think it would be a little bit too much of a hyperbolic statement. But I'll just ask you this quite simply. How crucial was Jack Fox to the Lions winning that game and to the Lions holding the Cardinals to 13 points?
He was as important as anybody in the game. David Montgomery, Jared Goff, Kirby Joseph, any of it. He was as important as anybody. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think this also points to the defense as well, because, I mean, Jack Fox has always been this. You know, he's always been somebody that you can rely on to put teams deep in their own territory. But, you know, before he would do that, and then the defense would get cooked for like 80 yards a drive. Now that you can trust your defense, you can really, really play the field position game, because, like you said, Kool-Aid, you know, it's Dan Campbell. We expect him to be gambling, man. But you can't do that all the time, obviously, in this league, man. You will lose that way. So the fact that you do have such a great punter and you can rely on your defense to play the field position game, it gives a whole nother element to this team that we haven't had in some time.
Yeah, and after those punts in which the Arizona Cardinals had to start with terrible field position, the first 3 drives, they weren't able to score.
Yep.
And on the last one, the Arizona Cardinals had to go on a 67-yard drive in order to settle for a field goal. That's a lot of work to do to just get 3 points, especially when a touchdown would have really helped the Cardinals.
But think about this. And the way that it will look on the time of possession is that the Cardinals, from wherever they started till that field goal, held that time of possession. But that's a win for your defense every single time, especially playing a team like the Cardinals, whose offenses looked explosive to start the season.
Yes, and the best part is it didn't do a whole lot of a dent. It didn't put a whole lot of a dent into the time of possession advantage, which we absolutely love to see. One of the indicating advantages on whether or not a team, specifically a team like the Detroit Lions with this running game, that they won the game. So very good, very nice team effort by the Detroit Lions, and you absolutely love to see it when the punter, Jack Fox, plays his part as well. Before we get to JB Smoove, of course, we certainly can't wait to get to that segment. Kool-Aid, tell us about the watch party and postgame.
Hey, I definitely will. It was epic, and it's been a really cool start to the season, being able to interact with some of the people that show up for these watch parties. You guys said it all last year. Hey, how do we join you guys? It looks epic. And we've been having a good time. It's New Holland Brewing Company watch party with the heavies and the post-game show hosted by Stick and Anson, and many other Woodward sports personalities are there at Hayes Social in Shelby Township. It's the biggest watch party and post-game show in Metro Detroit. We go live just before kickoff every single Lions game day, and we catch all the reactions live on Woodward Sports. Just come out there, eat, drink, cheer on the brand new Lions at Hayes Social. Only on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller Your Local Long Drink, 1800 Tequila, Soroki's, and Sabbath Coffee. And I'm telling you guys, the Soroki's is so awesome, man. And then right after the watch party, post-game show, Stick and Answer. It's simply one of the best, and you guys continue to have it be one of the most watched shows on the network as well. Thank you guys, man. Stay tapped in.
Absolutely. And hey, 1800 Tequila. Myself, Neil Rule, and Justin did a shot on air, and it was very, very good. Don't let my pain face deceive you. It's smoother than other tequila.
Put some hair on your chest.
I'm not going to open.
Yeah, please don't.
I got hair on my chest. 1800 Tequila, official tequila of Woodward Sports, Lions watch parties, and postgame show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township, and celebrate the wins with smooth 1800 Tequila. Proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila. Drink responsibly.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy, every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce, he's here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Have you ever thought about volunteering but don't know where to start? Start with the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. Visit registertoring.com to sign up for shifts. You'll have an option to choose a 2-hour session at a physical Red Kettle site or participate in a virtual bell ringing shift to raise funds for from the comfort of your own home. Virtual bell ringers can sign up and begin raising funds at any time. Traditional bell ringing begins on Friday, November 7th. And runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sundays. To sign up for volunteer shifts, visit registertoring.com.
Ah, man, Lions victory Monday, that kind of forward down the field type of feeling. Word to Dispo, it's time to spark up, though. Let's get cooking, JB.
Let's do it.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
J Bizzle.
Let's rock.
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
What up, though, man?
Hey, it is Victory Monday, so you know I got to start this one off right. Ah, so beautiful out there in Arizona. Jared Goff chants, you gotta love it. But KG, I'm actually going to start this off with you because apparently Caleb Williams just threw a touchdown.
Finally.
His first touchdown in 3 weeks. It only took him 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But someone else was there, and he was a little excited that Caleb Williams threw that touchdown. One Mr. Seth Rollins.
Oh, wow. What the hell are you doing at a Bears game?
Well, he is a Bears fan, and that's actually T.Y. Hilton that actually threw him over the barricade.
Wow. That's crazy. I did not know he was a Bears fan, though.
Yeah.
It's wild.
He was at Lucas Oil yesterday.
Seth freaking Rollins, everybody.
I know, right? Who would have thought? Seth Rollins out there on the field.
Is he related to Jimmy?
Hey.
Jimmy who?
Jimmy who?
Jimmy
Right.
Rollins.
Jimmy Rollins.
Remember Philadelphia Phillies shortstop?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's a good
no.
player.
I don't think so.
I don't know. You,
Really?
you got me on that one.
KG?
Multiple time All-Star. Jimmy Rollins. Shout out Matt Broder.
You got me on that one. I don't know.
All right, Jimmy Rollins is black, okay?
Oh,
Have you guys
all
seen
right.
Four Brothers? It's possible.
That's right.
Filmed in Detroit.
I mean, you're my brother, and you're my brother, friend.
Right?
Exactly.
You
Brother
too,
from
JB,
another,
KG.
man.
All right, hey, the more you know.
We're
I
brothers.
didn't know.
Say it now.
Happy every
Jimmy
single
Rollins-
hour.
Hey, bro, did you know Jimmy Rollins won an MVP?
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
I'm mad
World
you-
Series
You
champion.
said final down that path. So when I say the most prepared man, he's literally over here. Jimmy Rollins.
We could have a 6-hour baseball show every day of the week.
Yeah. Oh, we could.
I'm surprised Flannel
Probably
had that on
need it.
deck, just ready to go.
I
He
had
was
to
just
look
like, man.
I had to look it up. I didn't just know it. I'm not like Rain Man or anything, but I did look it up, though. I had to. Shout out Jimmy Rollins. You know he didn't make the All-Star game that year? Anywho, enough on Jimmy Rollins.
Right, it's the Jimmy Rollins hour.
What about Sam Darnold?
Hey.
Funny as hell.
He had a
Let's go down that
He had a
route.
great game, though. But I think the post-game show covered that. More on that in maybe... Ooh, actually, more on that tomorrow, because Top 10 Tuesday.
Top 10 Tuesday, you got to check that out. And you got to check this out, because I feel like he almost had it, but then again, he didn't.
Oh, shit.
Wait, let me take the glasses
Come on,
off.
dog.
That, man.
What just happened? What just happened? Hold on,
Parkour.
bro. What?
That damn parkour, right? People still do that shit?
Parkour.
Bam!
Oh! Why would she do that? man?
Spinal.
Spinal.
He broke his vertebrae. Jesus, man. He tried to walk it off like that shit didn't hurt. He know that shit hurt. Oh, my God.
Jeez.
Who Whoever's filming, they didn't care at all for his concern. Instead, my man is on the ground. They're like, hey, zoom in, actually. Zoom in.
Right.
Play that one more time.
One more time.
I'm like, bro, okay, I get it. You got me on film. Put the phone down and come help me, bro. Look at this. Look at this. All right, zoom in.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
He got up.
He did. Right. Could have been paralyzed very easily, though.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Caught a little pavement,
Cartier
too.
said touchdown in the chat.
I guess. He tried to do the Amon-Ra flip. It just didn't work.
J-Mo in the Saints game?
Yeah, man.
Goodness.
God, that was rough. That was pretty bad. But you know what? Some redemption for one Mr. Dan Orlowski, because you know what? I think we've seen the worst college football play ever in the back of the end zone.
Throws to throw. Pressure.
He throws it out of the back of the end zone.
Just go to the ground, my G. Oh,
my word.
It actually kind of bounced on you. I don't know how it bounces that high.
Oh,
That's
my goodness.
crazy.
Yeah, that's bad. Is that Virginia Tech?
Yes.
This is a long
like,
way
yeah.
from the Va-Tech was a powerhouse for a long time.
Yeah.
Shout out Michael Vick.
Right.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Shout out to
Kevin Jones.
Lions legendary backup quarterback Dan Orlovsky. He says he's now finally off the hook.
Nah,
because of
nah, Dano. We can't let you skate with that one, Dano.
What do you say, bro?
We don't get to proclaim that you're off the hook. That's our job. We're
Right.
the hook and ladder
Dan
team. Suck
Orlovsky
it,
is not
Dan.
off the hook.
You will never be off the hook for that. You are the
Jared
only
freaking
person I've
out.
ever
Oh,
seen
goodness.
do that. You're
And they-
never off the hook.
And would you believe that Virginia Tech lost that game? They lost by 3.
Oh, I wonder how.
Ouch.
Yikes.
Wow.
Oh, they went into the half with a 16-7 deficit instead of 14-7 because of it. Virginia Tech blows. I actually, you know what? Honestly, they were one of those teams that I enjoyed to watch. You mentioned it. You know, Michael Vick. You mentioned D'Angelo Hall. You mentioned Kevin Jones. They were a perennial ACC powerhouse with Frank Beamer, the Beamer ball and everything. But now they just blow.
Kevin Jones.
Okay, Kevin Jones.
They're so good.
Yeah, well, yeah, college, yeah, but league, not so much.
Nah. Not so much. And finally, I will end what's trending with this, because you know I got to throw some basketball in here for your Kool-Aid. It's
right.
almost basketball season, so I just got to know, what did
Almost.
my man do wrong in this whole attempt?
Let's check it out.
The whole shit was wrong.
What did he do? What?
He didn't have a good grip. He didn't get enough height on the jump.
My man was looking down, bro, before he even really secured the ball.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, why not put the top up?
Yes.
You're not, like,
If the
saving
top was
spit.
up, this
This
would
is
be
because
worse.
he jumped scared.
This would have been worse if the top was
He
up.
jumped scared. Like, if you ain't ready, don't do it, bro. My man did the dunk motion a foot away from the rim, bro.
And listen,
Look at him, like, come
listen.
on.
I know we have criticized Blake Griffin for jumping over the front of a Kia,
This
but
makes it look different.
the execution matters. It's about actually finishing the dunk, and this just ain't it, man. I'm sorry. Everything was wrong about this. He didn't even grab it properly, bro. And then the jump was horrible.
And what is his leg stuck on that his whole body's like?
The back seat.
The back seat. I think he got stuck in the back seat.
Imagine for real, at that moment right there, what he's thinking. Right there.
Bro, the rim, that's not even right. That's like 8 feet.
Wait, watch the ball.
It's like
He
an
actually
8-foot
dunks
rim.
it into the car, and it bounces back and hits him in the cojones.
Oh, I didn't even notice that either.
Maybe
That's
the knee.
Dr. Broder over there.
I love it if
I love
you can
it.
get it from the front, like right there, and just freeze frame it and be like, this is me. Like, this is me.
probably
You may
wondering.
wonder how I got here.
Or as Chappelle will say, when keeping it real goes wrong.
Right. That poor Mustang.
Makes your dookie twinkle.
Big M said it, man. He gave
That
up
poor
on it.
Mustang.
Right. Don't jump over cars if you can't do it.
Yeah, please stop jumping over cars. But that's it for what's trending. Let's hop into some mailbag, you guys.
Hey, absolutely. And before we get to Mailbag, we got to tell you about the sponsor of Mailbag, Feldman, and the place where myself and Matt Broder got our new cars. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Oh, man, it is time for the Wake Up Woodward Mailbag segment presented by Feldman. Great job, as always, JB. Smooth with what's trending. And I got the monitor up over here on my device. Nobody in the background reacts, almost as if they've seen this before. Like, nobody moves. Everyone's just like, oh, goodness.
There goes Kenny again, trying it.
Yeah.
Knew his ass wasn't going to make it.
We told him. We tried to told him. But let's get into this mailbag. Use hashtag Feldman Mailbag in the chat.
Hashtag Feldman Mailbag. First one from Steve DeYoung. Who gets their first interception this season? Who gets their first interception of the season first this season? Terrion Arnold or Aidan Hutchinson?
Terrion for sure.
Terrion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Aidan had a small opportunity yesterday.
Yeah.
He did.
Oh, I remember that. That would have been
Right through his hands.
one of the nastiest plays of the season.
It
But
went right between his hands.
yeah,
Right.
it's going to be Terrion though.
Yeah.
It is. Desert Stallion, Feldman Mail sack with stars at all three levels of the defense. Whose star is shining the brightest? He says, I love me some Hutch, but I can't deny how Brian Branch been balling.
It's Aidan. Open and shut, it's Aidan Hutchinson. And I love Brian Branch. I love what he's doing. I loved what Anzalone was doing in the first two games. But we're talking about Aidan Hutchinson as right now the front runner to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
Taking that next
quarterbacks
step.
don't shorten their time of throw because of a cornerback.
Right.
They're doing that because of Aidan Hutchinson and
Yeah.
that defensive line.
Yep.
I love this. IT Hips, Feldman Mailbag. Finish the sentence. The Detroit Tigers will.
Make the playoffs.
I want an answer from all you guys.
The Detroit Tigers will have a home playoff game.
The Detroit Tigers will lose in the ALCS.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Oh, wow. Come on, look at him trying to.
I'm just saying. I mean, you asked for a prediction. You know?
That's a hell of a prediction right there.
JB?
The Detroit Tigers will make it to the second round of the postseason.
All right, y'all getting
The
me so
ALDS.
bricked up and fired up right now. Let's rock.
Let's go. Connor Bryce, Mailbag. Is Sione Vaki a reasonable option at safety next week if Branch and Iffy are out?
No.
Nah,
Probably not.
Have they even been using them at safety?
Yeah, they
in
haven't
camp?
repped them a
Yeah,
lot
they really
like that.
haven't.
You
He's a
got
running back.
CJ Moore. You got Brandon Joseph, I think, made an appearance in
Lawrence
that game,
Strickland,
too.
Is he still?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody like
Yeah.
that.
Brandon Joseph came in when Brian Branch went out after that play,
All right,
after
then
his
it's Brandon
concussion.
Joseph.
Yeah.
CK, Feldman Mailbag. Is Michigan football back? And why is the answer yes? Smash, smash, smash. Ryan Day and the Buckeyes
More on that
are getting
later.
flagged.
Yeah.
Don't give your answer today.
More on that tomorrow.
Yeah. Big facts.
All right. Vincent E. Feldman Mailbag. We were hoping for a top 10 defense. Could we realistically see a top 5 defense out of the Lions?
I think 6 to 10
Yeah.
is where they're going to end up.
Yeah.
Top 5 is a little aggressive.
It is.
Yeah.
But they were 14 going into this game. I'm sure they raised the profile on that this week. So, yeah, top 10, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
The reason why I'm actually a little bullish on it, that it can happen, is you're going to have the rookies improve. You're going to have the defensive chemistry improve. And ultimately, you're going to have the offense figure things out, which will help this defense as well.
Yep.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
This is a puzzling one, I think. Charles McLean, Feldman Mailbag. If Tigers don't make the postseason, does Scooble still win Cy Young? Says Clase is having a better season than, I believe he meant Rivera, Mariano Rivera.
Yes, he still wins the Cy Young.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scooble?
Yes.
Yeah.
And who's
Clase is
number
a relief
3?
pitcher.
Tyler Holton.
Thank you. I had to hear it. I had to hear it again. Wyatt Bayer, Mailbag, Feldman Mailbag. Vikings a playoff team or just a lucky start?
Playoff team.
I've been saying it for all summer, man, especially when they got Sam Darnold. The Vikings, they find a way to muck things up, and if Darnold can just play clean football,
They dismantled the Texans yesterday.
That was
not
unreal.
expecting that.
No.
Rando Smalls, hashtag Feldman Mailbag. When Tigers make the playoffs, who do we want first? Has it changed from last week? We talked about just about every different team, but what are you thinking?
I want the Astros.
So if you want them to play the Astros, you want them to maybe go 4-2 in this last stretch because they're fixing to catch the choking Royals as well.
Mhm.
And if they do that, they'd get Baltimore.
As of right now, the playoff picture, as it has the Tigers facing the Astros. So, I mean, it's kind of on brand right now.
Man, what a development.
Yeah.
What a development.
Sole possession of the third wild card.
You know what? I'm going to go Orioles, and it's because of the starting pitching. The Houston Astros have it. The Orioles don't. I mean, Corbin Burns, my bad. Corbin Burns, but the Astros have two that you worry about. The Orioles really don't.
And so close to the playoffs. The Tigers have had some more recent success over the Orioles as well. I carry that mojo into the playoffs.
Are any of you are you worried about the Yankees?
Yes. The reason I say
why?
The reason why I say let me
You're not crazy, by the way.
Let me be very clear. The reason why I said ultimately that the Tigers will lose in the ALCS is because the way that I see it playing out is that the Detroit Tigers would face Cleveland in the ALDS. With the Yankees, I get it. Their pitching staff isn't. Brian Cashman doesn't value that as much as the Yankees GM should.
It don't matter when you can hit like they can, though.
But Luis Gil has had a hell of a rookie season. They still got Garrett Cole, who's had a disappointing year, who usually doesn't do well in the playoffs. And it's the Soto and Aaron Judge factor.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that both of them will. I mean, Aaron Judge, believe it or not, has some postseason demons. I think this is the year where he has like an 1,100, 1,200 OPS postseason and just dominates. I wouldn't be shocked at all if they win the World Series and Judge is World Series MVP. I wouldn't want to see the Yankees if I'm the Tigers, even though I think they're not a juggernaut. They're gettable.
Yeah, I hear you. This might be the last one, and man, we don't talk about this guy enough. Life with Cool says Feldman mailbag. Are we not giving Amik Robertson enough credit? We don't hear his name a lot, but that's a good thing.
Well, I mentioned it during the game a couple of times with Justin. That you saw Greg Dortch, the slot receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. He didn't really do a whole lot. I think he made a catch or two, but there were plenty of times where they tried to get it to Greg Dortch, and it was either Branch or Amik Robertson that had good coverage. So, Amik Robertson, he's had the type of a season that you'd want. You don't hear his name much. He's a little unheralded, but he's done his job.
Yeah, Dortch only had 35 yards. The only egregious play Amik Robertson's had was that blown coverage against Chris Godwin in week 2. That's it.
Fair. All right, last one from Mr. Steve Lehman. A really good photographer, by the way. Go check out his stuff. Feldman mailbag. Will Aidan Hutchinson have 10 sacks after week 6?
He might.
One bye week in the middle there. So after
might.
Cowboys,
6.5
after
already.
Seahawks.
Yes.
I think that he's going to get to Dak Prescott a couple times.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, they falling apart.
I'll say
we knew they would.
I will say exactly 10.
Oh, my gosh.
Take us home, baby. What a show. Victory Monday.
Beat the Seahawks. Beat the Cowboys.
Tigers tomorrow. Some Michigan tomorrow. More Lions for sure. What's happening, Neil?
Stick is wilding out. Hey, it's Victory Monday. How could you not?
Monday, boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's rock.
Hey, Jared Goff. Hey.
The Jared Goff spokesman right there.
Hey, Jared Goff. Hey.
Brought to you by Stick.
I was told.
Throw those over here.
Jared Goff's balls.
Balls on the mic.
Right on the chin. Right on Broder's chin.
Don't hate me today, easy.
Broder's so confused. He's over there on some bad
Everybody, get y'all a spokesman like Sticks up for Jared Goff. Get y'all a spokesman like that.
Ironically, top flight.
Oh, man. That's a show?
Balls. A sack for all you haters, all you doubters. Game by game, you give up on this man. Half by half. Throw by throw. Dude was perfect in the first half yesterday. Threw an interception.
For golf balls.
Dude comments, every time he drops back, I get nervous. Like, what? What are you watching? What are you smoking? Jared Goff, I love you, man.
That's my quarterback. That's my team. That's my quarterback.
That's a screenshot. Oh, what a show. What
Brian's
a
reaction
show,
is
man.
definitely going to screenshot that.
Broder's still in that sacks now? Wait a minute.
Do you know what Goff's balls will go for on eBay these days? He's now married to Kristen Harper.
Yeah.
He's now on a Super Bowl
that's a great
contending
point
team.
there.
He's got all these new sponsorships and everything.
Shut up.
Oh, shut up.
Whoa, what a show. Let's go, man. Hey. I think I knocked that down. I got you an assist on that one. Come on, man.
Let me have my assist, man.
Hey, but you know what? You know who didn't let us down? The Detroit Lions. It's a Lions victory Monday. 20-13. I'm talking about body bag type defense, man. The offense, they're going to get it together. But we know that this defense is already punching teams in the nuts for, hey, we talking about golf balls. We already know what this defense is doing, man. It's epic time. That's for you, Stick.
A lot of talking nutsack.
That's for you,
I know,
Stick.
a lot of nutsack talk right now.
This is Woodward Sports Network.
I guess.
Hey, bricked up off the Lions. But, hey, you know what? Let's break this thing down. Shout out to intern Chase. Shout out to that dude, Justin. And you know what? Shout out to you, chat family. Getting Victory Monday started off right. If you haven't gotten the opportunity to, smash that like button. Stick is in the building as well. Epic job with the post-game show.
Oh man, it was an interesting post game show. Like for a victory, Anson was a little worked up.
Yeah, a little bit.
But honestly, anytime we can get a W, it's a fun post game show. Next week, I guarantee the phones will be working, so we'll have people calling in. It's gonna be a good time out at Hey Social. But yeah, victory post game shows are the best. We used to pop bottles of champagne because they never effing happened, and now it's just like, that's Sunday.
Yep.
Now we
It's
pop
Sunday.
40s.
Oh, the Lions won. It's a Sunday. We panic more when they lose, rightfully so. And Phil, shout out to Matthew Broder, our credentialed Tigers reporter and writer for the network. Bringing heat, brother.
Bringing heat. I can't wait to talk about Parker Meadows tomorrow.
Yeah. Cannot
Animal.
wait. Detroit
Mic drop.
Tigers, bro. It's hype.
Yep.
I see Phil in the chat said, get them signed. I assume he's referring to Goff's balls.
Yo, for sure. For sure.
Hey,
Authenticated.
Will you sign this nutsack for me?
Don't be confused. That wasn't against Broder.
Oh, no. We're on the same side.
Okay,
Yeah, we're allies.
People in the chat are like, putting balls in Broder's face. No. That had nothing to do with Broder.
Yeah, it's about easy.
That's for the camera, for the virtual people. This is for you.
Slow zoom. I love it.
Huevos. Big huevos.
Victory Monday.
So yeah, about the end of the show.
Hey.
They're not the
This elite.
softcore ones either.
Wonderful.
Lady
Magnificent.
Jane's corporate meeting is looking in here like, what the fuck is that?
Oh my God. They are. I see Jesse. To this elite. Wonderful. Magnificent. I hope we keep our jobs. Talented, greater than all the rest. Know some dogs, man. Hey, this elite booth. Shout out to Detroit's #1 draft pick, KG in the sound booth, aka Black Hollywood.
Yes, sir. A lot of nutsack talk, but it's the end of the show. So it is what it is. Shout out to the team, man. Shout out to the Lions. And shout out to the Tigers. We cannot forget what the Tigers are doing right now. This is really a co-victory Monday. And, man, I just hope they make the playoffs, man.
Hey, it's like the Detroit Zoo, man. You got the lion exhibit. They used to have the Wolverines. Then you stop by the Tigers. Tomorrow, hey, we're going to be a little bit closer to the Wolverine and the Tiger exhibit. And we're going ham because they're giving us every single opportunity to. Shout out to Woodward Sports' MVP in the booth because it's a Monday. Lions victory Monday. JB Smooth, man. What up, though, MVP?
Yo, chat family, you killing me
Stick
over
over
here
there,
as well, too. But hey, it's a victory Monday. You can do whatever the hell you want at this point now. Hey, Lions got the W. It's been an amazing week. Jared Goff's balls right there, as you can see.
I see you, Cartier.
Let's get it done.
I see Cartier in the chat. This guy right here, man, Flannel Sam, and it's a Victory Monday, so you guys already know what it is. It is Freddie Polo, the vet of the squad, notes everywhere, and just spewing straight, just heat.
No,
it's stats and facts, man. You were on one today.
It's Polo the Prophet, man.
I forgot.
Polo the Prophet.
Well, I mean, I was wrong on a couple of my predictions and my answers from the Lions nickel package, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Before we talk about Michigan tomorrow, I just have to say, I love Khalil Bowling so much.
Yes.
So much.
He is the man.
My goodness, dude.
RB1. Sorry, Donnie.
Please.
I can't wait. Like, this is a great weekend. I'm just sitting here like, oh yeah, we a whole show for Lions, and we still got Tigers and Michigan that we can absolutely just go crazy about tomorrow. Sorry, JB, with your Spartans. It's your boy Brendan, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. It's been a great show. We appreciate you guys for you know, hey, kicking this day off with the WUW Crew. Thank you guys. It's been a blessing, and we hope you guys have a blessed one. Hit that like button on the way out if you haven't. If you have, share the stream, like the stream, all of that stuff. Post it somewhere else. It's been Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys.